Namaste guys, welcome back to UD's quickest movie reviews. As always, this is Udai back with some wonderful filmmakers and their work that we are going to review in our show today. Before we start, let me thank all those subscribers who have been supporting us a lot. And if you are new to our channel, now is the right time to hit that subscribe and the bell icon and join us. Help us reach all those wonderful filmmakers out there. Because somewhere we believe there is this one talented filmmaker who has a great film that needs to be appreciated. Let's support all those filmmakers around us. Now with that thought, let's start our show. Now the very first movie that we are going to start our episode with a screen time of 5 minutes 23 seconds, a psychological thriller silent movie hosted on Kmon Man YouTube channel. The movie basically starts with this man who is making a sandwich and he is also browsing to purchase a new sandwich maker. On his TV, we come to understand that it is lockdown period and PM Modi is announcing an extension of lockdown due to the circumstances. Now finally the man prepares two sandwiches. Now who is that second person who this man is making a sandwich for? What is so special about this sandwich? Now the climax of the film will give you goosebumps. Do not miss the climax is all I can say now. Now let's see the technical details. I say unfortunately when it comes to technical details, there are not many available information about technical team. All I could find is the film is written by Mr. John Cotter and Marilyn Kilgore. The way the film is written is remarkable. Every single frame of the film will let you learn a little bit more about the situation, about the character and the drive of the film. The final twist of the film will make you recall every single detail that you missed while you were watching, forcing you to completely revisit this film mentally. And that, my dear friends, I think is the victory of writer and director. They will force you to remember those details which otherwise we would ignore. And that, my dear friends, is a skill of good filmmaking. Let's talk about camera. When it comes to camera, I think the frames could have been much better. But then, whatever they did was decent. I really liked those perspective shots. They were mind-blowing. Now, when it comes to editing, I think editing was decent. There was some fair cuts and there was some very good transitions. But then, when it comes to dark shots or low light shots, I see this noise going on. Most of the times, this noise is low and ignorable, but then somewhere at the final twist, I see there was a lot of noise which was having a visual disturbance for me. And I think that could have been controlled. Now, when it comes to color, I think it is more towards a desaturated side. I understand your movie is a very dark subjective, but then somewhere I think you could have played with some blues. There was a lot of scope for blues, and there was a lot of scope of HDR look, a high definition look maybe, or there was a lot of things that you could have implemented when it comes to color. But then, even without those things, your movie looks brilliant. But then, if you could have implemented that, this would have gone to the next level. To end with, this is a very interesting, very good thriller movie. And here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate this film a 3-star in our show. All the best to the whole team.
Sandwich Maker. Sandwich Maker is a quick movie where we would see a person who is making sandwich. And there are certain things which happens around him while he makes those sandwiches. What are those things? Are the story behind this quick movie. As a concept, it's good, which adds to the psychological thriller. However, I felt that it lacked in depth since most of the part of the movie was concentrated in sandwich rather than the actual plot. And when the plot comes into the motion, it fails to deliver what it should have. Unlike the other versions of this, it didn't really make into that effect, or it didn't really gel into that effect. So that was the only drawback of this quick movie. Cinematography and the other technical parts did their job, what was given to them under the scope which is there in this movie. With this, I rate Sandwich Maker 1.5 out of 5.
The second movie in our reviews list is, with a screen time of 6 minutes 17 seconds, a suspense thriller short film posted on Fantoosh Drama YouTube channel is ALPVIRAAM Chapter 1. Now, as the title says, the film is Chapter 1 of something, which means it still has a lot of other chapters which we are going to see in coming days. Now, let's say our review is only based on Chapter 1 and details what we saw till now in Chapter 1. So this review is incomplete. The movie basically starts with this disturbed young man who is on top of a building and who is ready to take a leap. And suddenly this young man is disturbed by this young lady whose name is Samira. Now Samira starts talking to this guy about life and a strange philosophy of life. Now when this guy starts to communicate and tries to explain his story, he notices that Samira disappears all of a sudden. Now the story gets more twisted when the guy comes to learn that Samira is dead a long ago. Now who is Samira? Why did she save this guy? What does she want from this guy? How did she die? Why did she die? A lot of questions that we have to wait till chapter 2, chapter 3 or whatever chapters are going to come to get all our answers and understand what exactly is going on there. Now, let's see the technical details. Now, coming to the technical details. Story, editing and DI is done by Mr. Girish, and screenplay of the movie is written by Mr. Mayank Sharma, and the direction of the film is done by these two gentlemen, Mr. Mayank and Girish. It is too early to talk about the strength of the film, as the film is incomplete. We cannot comment about that. But then, if we are talking about screenplay, the film has a great gripping screenplay, and the way it is ended with a twist is remarkable. I am too eager to watch the second part to know what happens next. Now, when it comes to editing, I think editing is brilliant and color DI is wonderful. But then, this is just my thought, that if they could have not given that special appearance or the color tone for Samira maybe the film would be more interesting to know who Samira is, and the twist given at the end that Samira is not there would have got a greater enhancement and greater thrill. But then I totally understand that director wantedly gave this particular tone to enhance some point, or he is trying to tell altogether a different story, which maybe in coming parts we may understand. So as of now it is too early to comment on Samira's color tone. Now let's wait till next part is out. Now coming to the camera of the film. Cinematography is done by Mr. Amlesh Kumar and Gaurav Daksh. Both did a mind-blowing job. Every frame of the film is very interesting. I really fall in love with these zoom in, focus out shots. It is very hard to shoot these kind of shots. Very rare that people do it. But then these zoom in and focus out shots are the highlights of this film. Out and out, this film is very interesting. But as the film is not yet completed, we still have to wait, watch entire movie to understand how great these filmmakers pull their film. Now, waiting for your next chapter. Here at Udai's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate ALPVIRAAM Chapter 1 a 3-star in our show. All the best.
ALPVIRAAM. ALPVIRAAM is a short film which involves a guy who is trying to fall down from the roof. He is getting stopped by a girl where he finds the real truth of it. What is that truth? Who is she? Who is the girl? Who is the story? The story is wonderfully done, a good crafted movie which goes to the concept, and right from the frame 1 till the end, it just goes and conveys the message. It was good. Narration part and the screenplay was simple yet was powerful in this particular contest. Cinematography was good, so does the other technical stuffs. And the credits goes to both the leads who fulfilled or lived in this film as the character and not as the artist, which was the biggest plus of this movie. With this, I rate this movie a 2.5 out of 5. Good luck.
So guys, that brings us to the last movie of the episode. But before we review that, I just want to remind you that if you are new to our channel, now is the right time to hit that subscribe and the bell icon and get all updates and join us in our program. Now, if you are already a subscriber, you know what, you just have to hit the share button and share it across all your friends and fellow filmmakers, because we believe there is this one talented filmmaker out there who has a great film that needs to be showcased in our show, so that we can review it and you can view it and we all can appreciate the effort they have put in this film. Hope you are going to support us. Let's get into review right away. The last movie in our review list for today's episode is Dennis. With a screen time of 2 minutes 44 seconds, Dennis is an English comic documentary hosted on Simone Mayer, a YouTube channel. Dennis is a wonderful experimental quick movie. The movie basically is in the fashion of one-to-one interview with a ghost during the Corona period. The film, though looks funny, it has a great social message encrypted into it. As it is a quick movie, let's talk about its technical details now. The film is directed by Mr. Simo Meyer. The greatest thing about this film is the way they have presented such a great social message in such a comic fashion. I really appreciate the way the script is written and shot. They sure made there is this flavor of horror comedy, and then they did not miss the message they had to deliver. The biggest highlight of the movie, I must say, is the sound design and the narration. It was really remarkable to watch such a detail given in sound designing. The next biggest highlight would be the sets. The sets they have created is wonderful. Camera work, editing are marvelous, remarkable. Love the feel of the film. I really appreciate every single member of this team who have worked so hard to make such a complicated film. I think every single team member in making of this film deserves a great appreciation. And appreciating every single person of this team, we rate Dennis a 4-star in our show.
Dennis is a beautiful, wonderful, crafted movie. Again, it's a Korana concept. However, the way it was told is completely creative. Hats off to the director who has done this movie. It was so brilliant thought and was brilliantly made movie. You would see right from the first frame till the last, you'll see hell number of creative stuffs. The way the concept was shot is special notch of it, and definitely I loved it, and it was almost like a repeat mode for me. Maybe I watched it 5-6 times and I really loved it. Thanks for the entire crew and the director to make this such a wonderful movie, and we expect these kind of movies to come. All the best to this crew. With this, I rate Dennis a 4.5 out of 5. Good luck.
So guys, that brings us to the end of the show. Before we go, let me remind you that you can watch all these movies by hitting the link given in the description below. Write us your rating for these movies. If you have any suggestions, comments, please write to us in our comment box. If you are a filmmaker and you want your film to be reviewed in our show, it's very simple. All you have to do is send us your link to the email address given below or the social media networks. You can inbox us, or you can also be a part of our WhatsApp group where we discuss a lot about filmmaking and filmmakers. And let me thank Mr. Venkatesh to be our special reviewer of the day. So guys, till we meet next time with some more wonderful filmmakers and their work that we are going to review in our show. This is me, Udai, signing off. Namaskar.